So this is part two of New Jerusalem, Christ's Kingdom, Administration Ruling, and I'm just going to finish out the Iron Rule that we were talking about in regards to a podcast that I heard today. And again, it was by a brother who is, he's, as I said before, I don't think there's a mean bone in that man's body. He's very, very sweet. He seems like he's probably a very loving man, and and I'm not perfect, and he's not perfect, but what has triggered this for me is that he was stating that it's not about race, and from what I heard, and again, I stipulate that I may have misunderstood, but what I heard was that, listen, there are going to be all kinds of people in New Jerusalem, and I'm here to say probably not. Probably not as you all think it's going to be, and as some of you hope it will be, so you can kind of dalliance in the bedroom with some of these people, and be okay with it, even if they do have a drop of black blood in them. Doesn't mean that they're with you. It is about how they used their bloodline that was from the foreigner, i.e., white or everything other than black, white, yellow, or beige. And if they basically walked into whiteness, then they gotta go with. If they took the gifts from it, or the blessings, they gotta take the curses, and that means that they gotta spend maybe some time with the white folks in the territories that they will be in, at least that those who may or may not join us in this final moments of this of the world that we currently live in. But I want to I want to read something here regarding the iron rule, because it will be so exacting, like right from the off. It says that many, and I'm reading from the Plan of the Ages under Kingdom of God. It is on page 303, and we're going into the second paragraph. Many will feel rebellious against the perfect and equitable rule because accustomed in the past under the rule of the present prince, which is Satan, the Lord, to lord it over their fellow mortals, which all we have known is white supremacy and white domination. It goes on to say, and to live wholly at the expense of others without rendering compensating service. If that don't explain this world, I don't know what does. It goes on to say, and many and severe will be the stripes which a present life of self-indulgence and gratifications will naturally demand and receive under that rule, under that reign, before such will learn the lesson of that kingdom, which is Christ's kingdom, equity, justice, and righteousness. Now listen, the rest of us, we're kind of used to what this is because this is all we've known. But this world has been inequitable, it has been unjust, and it has been unrighteous. It has dabbled in every devilry imagined. So of course we got some of that on us. There's no way that you can walk through this world and not get it on you. And I would even say even the elect, even the anointed, have had to deal with this. Some of us, or some of the anointed, probably do want a white man or a white woman in their bed, because we have been propagandized to look at that as something holy, day in and day out. Or we want to get close to it, whether it is a brown person like in Latin America, whether it is a yellow person like in Asia, whether it is or even a biracial person who may have decided that they're going to go be white. You do have some of those out there. And now they want to slither their way in. Now when things change, they want to slither their way into the kingdom and be like, okay, I'm ready to go ahead and get these fruits. No. We all are going to be called to the carpet. All of us. And no one gets away. That's how exacting it's going to be. So again, it says the lesson on this subject comes first to the living generation. That's us right now, and is near at hand, which is it is right now. It is right now. It comes to us because we have bared the bottom rock brunt of um, all of Satan's tools and devices that have been perfected and have been successful on changing our minds and our hearts. And so we had to put on um, this is going to help us get a new heart and a new mind, a new spirit. It closes by saying, but blessed thought when the Prince of Life has put in force the laws of righteousness and equity with an iron rule. I'm reading it again from The Plan of the Ages. The masses of mankind will learn that righteousness exalted a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. And so we are going to be that guiding light. We are going to be that beaming light because because of our walk into righteousness. Although at the very beginning, yes, it's going to be forced. It's going to be forced because we got to deplete about a lot of things that we have onboarded. But that's okay. I think it says it's going to be quick work. So once we get through that, then we will be able to dream those new dreams. We'll be able to build, and it says that we'll reclaim the land really quickly. That's part of our reparations, by the way, is what's in the land, and the strategic outlay of the land, especially if it's here on the West Coast. We have just everything that you will need to start a whole new nation. Okay, let's see. Where do I leave off? I'm so excited here. So righteousness exalted a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. So they'll see that. They'll see the world's going to see, oh, these people mean business, and they'll also see the angels helping us too. So it's going to be really awesome. But it finishes by saying they will learn that God's plan and laws are best in the end for all concerned. And ultimately, they will learn to love righteousness and hate inequity in all its forms. And you can look at that from Scripture, Psalms 45:7 and Hebrews 1, verse 9. It goes on to say, all who under that reign have not learned to love the right will be counted unworthy of lasting life and will be cut off from among the people. Acts 3:23, Revelations 29, and Psalms 11, verses 5 through 7. So, but we are going to get a lot of time. I think it is said that each individual would get 100 years individually to walk, fall down, walk, fall down, walk, fall down, run, run, run. So you will get all kinds of, like, everything will be extended to us. We haven't had that with these people. They don't even know what that means. The people who now govern this world, along with Satan, only know self-satisfaction, only know their own arrogance and conceit. They only know their own hate. Satan and the demons, they hate humanity, and quite frankly, the humans that serve them, and the race that serve them the best also hates humanity too. And so I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how many of those folks are going to be saved. I just really don't know how many are going to actually make it, because it's such a part of their character and it's a part of their history. They started off killing each other, you see. But the extent to a new heart and mind is probably, if it does help them, it will help them probably greater than us, because at least in our bloodlines, we have had where we've actually lived righteous. We have had where we actually lived so rightly that we built up cities that were out of this world. I mean, literally out of this world. And our righteousness was such that when a foreigner did come in, we would welcome them with open arms before they turned on us. We didn't fear the night. We didn't fear the stranger. That's not us. That's not our history. So for black folks, even though many of us are probably going to be very angry because we don't get to lay with that white boy, we don't get to lay with that white woman, or we don't get to lay with the yellow man or the yellow woman or the beige man or beige woman and all the varieties for a time being, know that it is because when you do engage someone like that, you exchange spirits. And so you get to thinking like they do, and you get to da, 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 and that has had more of an effect on us, provenly, than it has than us having an effect on them. And so there's going to have to be some type of straightening going on for a little bit. But if it is to be, then you know we'll be able to, I guess, conjugate with them. But first and foremost, we got to be able to honestly love ourselves and having that shine through someone who look like us. So many times, like with this coach, there's a black woman that could have really enjoyed his prominence and enjoyed the material and the security that that man brought. But far too often, men like himself who get a little bit of a leg up, they tend to turn to someone that doesn't look like them. And so, as black women, we have really suffered from that. We have suffered strongly from that. And, so I think that uh, really, we're really the only, I believe, the only woman that finds that although our men marry us more, uh, there's a lot more of them out of the stream of a lot of the other races that marry outside of their race or cohabitate outside of their race. Um, and I think that's a little bit of the discipline that has to come into play. And quite frankly, if the shoe was on the other foot, we probably would do the same as women. But because we are the lowest bottom rung of humanity, we're just not allowed to. The men are not looking at us like that anyway. We're not an emblem to be held up as something worth having. We don't, like with this man this coach, that's a status symbol to have a white woman with blonde hair. It's not so much a status symbol when it's a nappy hair and a black woman. And that's because we live in a world of Satan, and Satan hates black women. Satan and the demons, they hate us. And so, and this is the reason why we're in the position that we're in. That is going to flip. We are going to be restored to our former position, which is it's going to be really awesome. Ooh, it's going to be ooh. But we have to be disciplined that we are we are choosing you, black man, to be with us. Like if once we're at that status, that it is your arm that we're taking hold of, and not just bleeding over to take somebody else's arm that has been your former enemy. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Thank you for listening.